Good evening, Stevens Point. I'm Brendan Canese.
And I'm Erica Carlson.
This week in SPTV News, we talk about issues with the new Debot Center, the tragic passing of Kobe Bryant, and UWSP's Artsbash 2020.
All this and more when we return.
The renovations of the Debot Dining Center have finally been completed after a year and a half of construction. However, some students are upset with its conditions. We go to Austin Lepak for more on how the dining center is responding to the anger.
With the grand opening of the Debot Dining Center, there has been a lot of celebration, but it has been cut short by some issues with service.
Yeah, so I have this disease called celiac, and it's basically I have to be on a very strict gluten-free diet. And they have this new allergen-free area called Plain and Simple, and I was super excited for it to open. And then on the second day of classes, it was closed, and there was really nowhere else for me to eat, just because cross-contamination is a big deal too, and I have to be very careful about that. And so I was very disappointed.
And she wasn't the only one. Many students are complaining on social media about the long wait times, which has sometimes gotten to half an hour just to get in, along with a reduced list of items that students can buy with dog dollars. I sat down with Suzette Connolly, the director of Dining and Summer Conferences, who offered this explanation and apology.
Sorry for that. It's all brand new, lots of brand new equipment, a brand new menu, some brand new food products, and a lot of brand new staff.
Unfortunately, that new staff isn't enough. In 2012, Dining had 425 student employees. Today, that number has dropped to 180. Not only does this mean they are understaffed, they are also undertrained.
Due to the renovation of this building, we did not get into this building as quickly as we were hoping we were going to handle some training. We really got in here January. So my culinary team had 10 days of training. My student manager team had 5 days of training. And my student employees had 2 days of training before we opened on Sunday, January the 19th. I will be quite frank, that is not enough time. Again, we are doing the very best we can given the challenges resulting from the renovation. And we appreciate everyone's participation, cooperation, and patience as we work through all of these things.
So although students might be a bit upset at the service right now, Suzette asks for just a bit of understanding.
People don't realize what it takes to feed 500 people at one time. So please, again, I can only ask for your patience and your understanding as we work through this opening.
Even Anna can agree that students need to do more than just complain.
I think it's very important for students to come up with ideas or solutions that they can bring up instead of just complaining, because complaining won't solve anything.
For SPTV, this has been Austin Lepak.
The Dining and Summer Conferences team is apologetic to those students who are upset, but ask that students please be patient until the staff becomes more accustomed to the new facilities.
Storytime at the museum is back for the spring semester. Preschoolers and their parents or guardians will have many opportunities to attend a storytime session to learn about animals and nature. The weekly public programs are held on select Fridays from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. and take place in the UW Stevens Point Museum of Natural History, located in Albertson Hall. The first Storytime kicks off on January 31st and will go through March 27th. It is recommended parents and students register for the event. More information can be found by emailing the Museum of Natural History.
St. Michael's Foundation is offering 3 scholarships to students studying healthcare. One scholarship was created by the staff at Ascension Health, while the other 2 honor doctors Richard Eckberg and Robert Weaver and their commitment for healthcare education. Each scholarship is worth $1,000 and will be applied to the 2020 to 2021 school year. Students are able to apply for all 3 scholarships, but will be only awarded 1. The deadline to apply is March 2nd. The scholarship application and other information can be found on the scholarship page of the Ascension website.
Early Thursday morning, students got an email from Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs, Al Thompson, and Dean of Students, Troy Seepelt, that one of our pointers passed away on January 24th. Amber Schmidt is from Merrill and was a second semester senior who was majoring in social work. Amber loved to travel, listen to country music, and camp with friends and family. Amber is survived by her parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, goddaughter, and many other friends and family. She was only 29 years old. UWSP will fly the morning flag on Thursday, January 30th, in honor of her. There are many resources on campus, such as the Counseling Center, Employee Assistance Program, and other student affairs services to help anyone in need. Thompson and Seepelt both mentioned in email.
Artbash, the biggest fundraiser of the year for the Department of Theater and Dance and Department of Art and Design, will be held on February 1st in the Noel Fine Arts Center. In its 17th year, this annual event is put on to support student scholarships. 100% of the tickets and proceeds will go to the students. The event includes musical numbers, dance pieces, fashion shows, and opportunities for attendees to buy UWSP and community artwork that artists have donated. There will be over 15 food and drink vendors and many surprises throughout the night that can't be missed, according to the chair of the Theater and Dance Department and co-director of the event, Joan Carlin. Tickets are on sale at the Ticket and Information Center, and to donate to the Artsbash, visit the Artsbash website. Students can purchase tickets at only $20 with their ID. Otherwise, tickets are $30 in advance and $40 at the door.
That's all the news stories we have for you tonight.
Coming up next, we have Alex Stroff with SPTV Sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Warzala, the 7th largest book printer in North America, is hiring students for the semester. We are 100% employee-owned and located right here in Stevens Point, Wisconsin. All shifts currently hiring, with jobs starting at $10.80 an hour. Hours are flexible. For more information, contact the Warzala HR department.
It's a very welcoming place. Even if you don't know what support you need, just coming down, we can look at individual schedules and talk about all the different options that are available.
I believe that the TLC can definitely help students even for the slightest little bit. The writing lab, especially because you're going to have to write papers for any of the classes, they're able to proofread those and give you feedback on those.
The writing lab has been around since 1973, and it's the second oldest writing lab in the United States, which is kind of cool.
I was surprised by everything that I learned about TLC because I didn't realize there were so many resources for students.
To see more students down here. I mean, it's great that we have 35% of the student population utilizing us, but that means that we have 65% that didn't utilize us, and I know we have support services that could benefit just about everybody.
It means to me that I'm able to add another link between the TLC and the students. I know that as a big organization, it's kind of hard to get word out to the students, especially because they're not going out and meeting with the students or being part of their classes or anything like that. So having that extra link probably helps them out a lot.
And when you come down, there's free coffee, tea, and hot cocoa, so make themselves at home and learn a little bit about how they can be supported.
How you doing, everybody? I'm Alex Stroff with SPTV Sports. The Wisconsin Intercollegiate Athletic Conference is in the midst of one of the most intense men's basketball seasons in recent memory. Only 3 games separate first place from 6th, and Stevens Point, well, they're right in the middle of it. The Pointers played host to UW River Falls Wednesday night right here in Stevens Point. Let's take a look at the action as the Pointers get ready pregame. We'll start things off early in the first half. Pointers down 2-0 early, but to tie it, here's Blake Erkey on the pass from Aaron Canez, make it 2-2. Next point possession, Blake Erkey once again from three-point land in the corner. He says, bang, make it 5-2. River Falls now on the other end. Noah Hansen follows that up with a three of his own. He had a game-high 17 in the first half with 4 threes. This game not about Hansen, though. All about Garrett Nelson of Stevens Point. He hits this one from Plover. Boom! Pointers take the lead back. More from Nelson in the first now as he takes it past half court. He doesn't only shoot, he passes too. Here's Blake Erkey in the lane. Quick layup. That's good for another point lead. Those two combined for 20 of the 30 first half points for Stevens Point. Once again, Erkey finds Bublitz and one right before the half. Pointers lead 30-26 at the break. To the crazy second half. Spoiler alert, 6 lead changes coming up. Here's the first. Noah Hansen, another three-pointer from him. Team high 21 in this one. Next possession, Matt Kerner finds Nelson at the top of the key for a triple. Dogs back on top. Tie game, but here's Nelson once again. He says, as he drives and goes, and one lay-in. Another three-point lead for the Pointers. Later in the second, it's Erkey's turn to break the tie. Watch this. Impossible reverse layup. It goes in. Didn't call the foul, but it's still good for 2. He finished with 14 and 10. To the final minute, 34 seconds remaining. Who do you go to? You go to the hot hand. Garrett Nelson, bang! Pointers take the lead by 1 point, and they hang on. Nelson with a career high of 24 points. Here's Nelson after the big conference win.
I think it's just being confident every time you step on the court, and we have so many guys who can come out here and get 20 points, whatever it is. We have plenty of guys who can step up, get in double digits, so it's just a matter of whose night it's going to be that time we step on the court.
13-6 overall and 5-3 in WIAC play. They're tied in third place, but are only 1 game back of both Platteville and Oshkosh, who are tied atop the conference. From the court to Miami, Florida, get on a jet as we are just hours away from kickoff of Super Bowl 54. The Kansas City Chiefs are narrowly favored over the San Francisco 49ers. The Chiefs, led by a high-powered offense with the flashy Patrick Mahomes, who is looking to become the youngest player to win both a league MVP award and a Super Bowl ring at just 24 years old. San Francisco, on the other hand, features a quick, dominant, and powerful defensive front led by Rookie of the Year Nick Bosa. The action kicks off from Miami at 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time on Sunday night. Now to more sad news as the sports world is mourning the deaths of basketball superstar and global mogul Kobe Bryant, his 13-year-old daughter Gianna, and 7 others after a helicopter crash in Calabasas, California on Sunday morning. Kobe Bryant was not only an all-star, a champion, and a genius. He was a mentor, a friend, and most importantly, a father. At only 41 years old, the world lost an incredible inspiration that was only getting started. My heart goes out to all those affected by this horrible tragedy. That'll do it for sports. Next up is Ryan with entertainment. Thanks for kicking it with me. I'm Alex Strofe for SPTV Sports.
UW Stevens Point is home.
It's a university where professors know your name and get you involved in research.
They inspire us to realize big dreams.
At UW Stevens Point, sustainability is what we stand for.
Our beautiful campus encourages exploration, developing new fields, and problem solving for the real world.
It's a great place to launch your career.
UW Stevens Point is home.
Apply today at uwsp.edu.
SPTV strives to represent the student body and Stevens Point community. We are a professional student-run organization that provides hands-on experience for students to create the best possible content.
SPTV encourages creativity and is open to all students. Stop by our office for more information.
Welcome back, Pointers. UWSP's Department of Music is bringing in a special guest for their first concert of the semester. Jazz trumpeter Wallace Rodney and his quintet will be performing part of the annual Jazz Festival for the music department. They'll be performing on Friday, January 31st at 7:30 p.m. in the Michelin Hall of the Noel Fine Arts Center. The public performance covers a day of jazz studied by hundreds of high school and middle school students from around Wisconsin. This class will be held from 11:45 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. with a Q&A from 3 to 4. Tickets will be $20 for adults and $16 for UWSP students and are available at the DUC Information and Tickets desk. History was made on music's biggest night. This past Sunday night, the 2020 Grammys aired and it was full of impactful and unforgettable moments. According to E! News, Billie Eilish, the winner of 4 Grammys, took home Record of the Year, Song of the Year, Album of the Year, and Best New Artist. Eilish became the youngest nominee to not only be nominated, but win in all of these categories, beating out Taylor Swift, who held it previously. As for the rest of the night, it was the performances that took the audience's breath away. Camila Cabello sang a song to her dad, and Demi Lovato returned to the stage with an emotional performance after her life-threatening overdose in 2018. Their performances were nothing short of their powerful vocals and sent a powerful message. The most memorable moment of the night was honoring Nipsey Hussle, who was gunned down outside a clothing store, and Kobe Bryant, who died in a helicopter accident early Sunday morning, TMZ report. For the rest of the winners of the night, visit the Grammys website. The Department of Theater and Dance here at UWSP is holding its first show of the semester. Six-Fingered Woman is a staged reading written by its current senior drama student, Sophie McIntosh. Six-Fingered Woman is kicking off the spring semester shows with 3 more performances later in the semester. The reading will be in room 221 at the NFAC February 6th through the 9th. The opening night performance on the 6th will be held at the Walsall campus and the rest on the UWSP main campus. Tickets can be bought ahead of time at the tickets desk for $10 for the public and $7 for UWSP students with their ID on the day of the performance, if not sold out. That's all for entertainment stories we have for you this week. Coming up next is B with Pointer Politics. I'm Ryan with SPT Entertainment.
The Media Studies is a program for people who love to tell stories, whether that be in written form, visual, or audio.
Media Studies is exciting because it's always fresh, it's always new.
Media is at the center of everything we do. More and more people are asked to engage with media and use media. Our program really provides students with skills and techniques to be better prepared for that in the future.
We offer courses in media production, both video and audio, nonfiction and fiction, music production, journalism, film studies.
Media Studies is a great way to get hands-on experience in the field that you're looking to do. They teach you the basic concept behind everything, and then they tell you to go do it.
We really pride ourselves on thinking of a wide set of opportunities that we can give our students.
The student organizations are a great asset. We have SPTV, the student television organization, 90 FM, the radio, and the Pointer, our student-run newspaper.
It's a great way for students to get involved, learn skills that they need for class, and meet new people.
Some great facilities where our students can hone their skills.
There's a giant studio in the center of the comm building. I've had quite a few classes in there.
A lot of our classes are very hands-on, they're very interpersonal.
You're getting the skills that will allow you to create your future, and I think that's what makes it a truly amazing experience for students.
There's an incredible range of options for graduates. We've had students go out and become independent contractors, work for radio stations, newspapers, with TV stations.
Everyone is different and they have their own unique style. In all the classes and all the student organizations you get involved in, you have a lot of flexibility to really create your own work and do it in a way that means something to you.
We're excited to see what students are making and what they want to make and how we can help students get from where they are to where they want to be.
I'm in a video production class that's teaching me how to film documentaries. I'm also in a screenwriting class and I get to learn how to write movies. So I'm doing all these different cool things and I love it every day.
Welcome back, Pointers. Starting off with state news, Governor Tony Evers created a new task force devoted to assisting with student debt. The task force will utilize studies on student debt and provide possible ways to address it. Evers will take part in the task force alongside other state officials, as well as the UW System President and the Wisconsin Technical Systems President. Evers says, quote, "We need to address college affordability and ensure that a great education doesn't come at the cost of decades of crippling debt," end quote. Evers signed the bill Wednesday morning, and State Department of Financial Institutions Secretary Kathy Blumenfield will serve as chairwoman. Moving on to national news, the Trump impeachment case has now moved to the Senate, where opening arguments began a few days ago. President Trump's defense lawyers have been presenting their arguments over the past few days and finished Tuesday. CNN's Sarah Murray has the details of the story.
That ends our presentation. Thank you very much.
That's a wrap on the opening arguments from the president's defense team, but a vote on whether to call new witnesses is still up in the air.
The trial of the leader of the free world and the duly elected president of the United States. It is not a game of leaks and unsourced manuscripts.
Trump's defense team warned that impeaching the president would be dangerous.
Danger. 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 You are being asked to remove a duly elected president of the United States, and you're being asked to do it in an election year. In an election year.
Why not trust the American people with this decision? Why tear up their ballots?
The arguments from Trump's lawyers come after the New York Times reported former National Security Advisor John Bolton wrote in his manuscript that Trump told him directly he was withholding security aid for Ukraine until Ukraine pursued investigations into Joe Biden and his family. Today, Trump's team used the president's own words to defend him.
Here's what the president said in response to that New York Times piece. "I never told John Bolton that the aid to Ukraine was tied to investigations into Democrats, including the Bidens. If John Bolton said this, it was only to sell a book."
And used lawmakers' decades-old comments against them.
There must never be a narrowly voted impeachment.
This is unfair to the American people.
The Republicans are crossing out the impeachment standard of high crimes and misdemeanors.
So this should end now, as quickly as possible.
Next up, senators get up to 16 hours over 2 days to question House impeachment managers and Trump's defense team. Democrats are expected to use much of that time hammering home their call for witnesses in the hopes of winning over moderate Republicans. Today, Senator Mitt Romney signaled he would be open to a witness swap.
I'd like to hear from John Bolton, and I think the idea that's been expressed in the media about having each side be able to choose a witness, or maybe more than one witness, on a paired basis, it has some merit.
Senator Lisa Murkowski said Bolton probably has some things that would be helpful for us, while Senator James Lankford suggested senators should first be able to review Bolton's manuscript, then make a decision on witnesses.
We can read all of it and see for ourselves if there's anything significant there.
We will continue to update as the trial goes forward. In other news, the first caucus of the year will be taking place next week in Iowa. The Iowa caucus plays a large part in the presidential primary process. Justin Searcy dives into the story.
With just 1 week until the Iowa caucuses, the Polk County Democrats are busy tying up loose ends.
Oh, it's right there. It's right there.
But don't let the neatly packed boxes fool you.
It's a little bit of organized chaos right now at Polk County Democrats headquarters with 1 week left till the caucuses.
The 2020 Iowa caucus season has been a unique monster for Polk County Democrats Executive Director Judy Downs.
So there's a few things that go into making this year hard. Because Polk County is growing and more folks are interested in the process, and because we have about a dozen candidates, we've had to move to larger sites.
That growth has changed population in big ways since the last census in 2010, so much in fact that recently Precinct 62 near Des Moines' south of Grand area had to be moved to Drake University's Knapp Center.
Those folks usually have always caucused at Merrill. This year they're actually going to be at the Knapp Center because we're expecting almost 1,100 people at that one particular caucus.
Polk County is home to 177 caucus sites.
These are your pre-check-in.
Caucus chairs have begun arriving for their boxes of information.
This is all the materials required to run a safe and successful caucus.
They're being prepped on the changes to help make sure Iowa stays first in the nation.
We're going over everything with them just to make sure that they're up to date on all the changes to the rules.
New this year in those boxes, stickers for reporters or observers so they do not get counted on caucus night. Also, presidential preference cards, which leave a paper trail in case of a possible recount, something that was impossible in caucus years before. Countless hours of volunteer work is now in the home stretch.
It's almost like I'm a NASCAR coach or manager, and once that race starts, there's not much I can do.
Hoping that the planning, prepping, and political process makes the nation proud of Iowa.
At a certain point, it's kind of like I just have to let it go and let God and see what happens on caucus night.
The Iowa caucus will take place February 3rd throughout the whole state. That's all the political news we have for you this week. Now back to Brenton and Erica. I'm Brianna Schmidt with SPTV Politics.
Thanks, Bea. That's all we have for you in SPTV News.
And until next time, Stevens Point, have a great night.